On Spotlight this weekend, I'm being joined by Einar Tangen, who is a senior fellow at the Taihe Institute. Einar, many thanks for joining us here on World Today. A disturbing news coming in from Balochistan of Pakistan, but not the first time. Tell me what your reading is from Beijing on China's concerns with regards to its investments in Balochistan.
Well, it's obviously always a concern because this is a personal issue. Luckily, this time around, the Pakistan army was able to thwart an attempt to obviously kill these Chinese engineers who were going in a convoy back to their plant.
Well, also a very important aspect of the conversations and the work that we see between China and Pakistan and China investing so heavily, Einar, is the fact that there was some assurance that Chinese nationals will be protected. In a situation such as this, when the protection does not seem total, wholesome, complete, what's the message from Beijing to Islamabad in terms of assurances that they seek for security of their personnel?
Well, I mean, these conversations have been going on for quite some time. This time it wasn't serious because no one was injured and they were able to repel the attack and kill the attackers. But, you know, if this continues, obviously it will be a concern. Pakistan represents that they have put 10,000 military personnel who are assigned the task of protecting the Chinese engineers and workers who are critical to building up this CPEC area.
And finally, before I let you go, Einar, this is again a restive area. There are problems that exist in the grand plan of the Belt and Road Initiative. Should China be able to connect the CPEC to other parts of the region, how will you then use this area if there isn't stability and peace in this very part of the entire region?
Well, I mean, there are many regions which are not at peace. It doesn't matter where they are. I mean, India has issues, restive issues and things like this. It doesn't mean that the country stops. And obviously, from China's perspective, the best way to get rid of extremism and terrorism is to have economic development. They really believe it. It was something that they've done themselves. They may be wrong, but it's a better way of doing it than coming in with an iron hand and trying to exterminate people or having outside groups come in and try to, muscle everything militarily. That hasn't worked. It didn't work in the Middle East. It hasn't worked. In fact, quite frankly, hasn't worked anywhere. So I think it's good to give some prosperity a chance, see if, in fact, a more stable area can emerge, and also that Pakistan can become more stable. A destabilized country is not, with nuclear arms, is not something anybody wants to contemplate.
Well, you explained China's position very well, because there was a lot of conversation, Einar, with these attacks, whether if China's interests are secure, what is China going to do next? There's clarity there on how China is looking at Pakistan, the CPEC and the BRI projects there, so on and so forth. So thank you so much for joining us over here on World Today to explain to our viewers what this really means to China and to Pakistan. Thank you.
Thank you, Geeta.